the morning comes from a reply to the lay priest Takasashi, written by Takasashi, written to the lay priest on July 12th, 1275 by Nichiren Daishonin, the Buddha of the latter day of the law. And so he says here in this letter, he says, I am much distressed to hear that your illness has become so serious. Swords exist to cut down enemies. However, medicine exists to cure sickness. King Ajatashatru, King Ajatashatru murdered his father and made himself an enemy of the Buddha. But after 4 sores broke out on his body, he converted to the Buddhist teachings and embraced the Lotus Sutra, whereupon his sores healed and he prolonged his life by 40 years. There's a lot to unpack there, actually, in that one paragraph. Mainly, though, that where he says here, he embraced the Lotus Sutra. The Lotus Sutra is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo, Lotus Sutra. So that's the title of the Lotus Sutra, and that's what we chant over and over and over. And every time we do, as we've read before, it's like giving a ton of stuff that could, stuff. A ton of stuff, I just had a text, a ton of contributions to the Buddha, more than anything could ever happen before, could have been given. I'm at a loss for words. But the big thing I want to talk about today is that he says that embracing Lotus Sutra, whereupon his sores healed and he prolonged his life by 40 years. Okay, I'm here today because of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. I've shared everywhere I could that, when I first started this practice, I'd come from the other kind of Buddhism, like the Tibetan Buddhism. And before that, it was Zen. So, I've been on this journey. But anyways, in those meditations, you just relaxed. You sit back and said, put your hands there, But this meditation is more of we chant. We actually get our prayer beats and we put them thusly. We can show you how to do that one of these days. And you chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, title over and over. Now, when I started doing that, I started getting a pain right here, right there. And I thought, wow, because I've not used these muscles, they hurt. Well, long story short, I went back to the VA over and over again, saying there's something wrong. They tested me, kept me overnight, put dye in me, put me on a treadmill. Said, no, you're fine, you're fine. Finally, I will admit, after a football game where the Raiders lost, I was like, God, this is still hurting. It was on a Sunday, and I knew, wow, I can get into the VA. I'm going to go get them check out again. What the hell? I go in there Sunday, 6:00 p.m., because the second game was still on in the lobby, and I finally got in there. I don't think anything about it. Well, I have this one doctor there who's very inquisitive, and she says, you know what? I'm going to do a lung X-ray. It can't hurt. So I came back, and she says, we found a itty-bitty tiny little blot in the X-ray on there. It happens all the time. It's probably nothing, but we're going to keep you in for more tests. And they did tests. They did the CT scan. They did everything else, and they come back that next day, and they said, we think it might be lung cancer. I mean, we don't know, but it could be a cancerous tumors. And I thought, wow. So all the people in my life have died of lung cancer, around 60. The last one to do was my mom, 20 years before me, hit 60, bam, had lung cancer, died at 61. Okay, so here I am at 60. Is it lung cancer? Well, yes, it was. And so I go in there and they cut out that lower part of my lung and I'm fine. They put me on tests to make sure, because I wasn't ever a heavy smoker. I mean, I was in my 20s, but I had only smoked when I'd go out drinking or dated the wrong women. And I'm just kidding. But it's all been me. It's all me, nobody else. But anyway, so they cut it out, and I am alive here today. And I went back to my mom's grave and I looked down at it. And it's funny that I looked at the day we buried her was on January, February, it was like March something. That was when we put her in the ground. You know, that was when I had my surgery. That's when they healed me, and I've gone on. It's been 5 years now. So basically, chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is why I'm here today. This is no doubt. This is not like trying to make shit up or try to make you want to be in this faith or anything. I don't really care if you don't, you know, if whatever your deal is, that's fine. I just want to tell you what's happening, the truth, chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, see what happens to you. I've been extended my life. I'm going to live out more of my natural life now. That's what's happening. My karmic life from cigarette smoking, being in those bars, just from being grown up in Detroit, and all the shit in the air. Bam, it said, hey, we're gonna let you check out at 60. No big deal. But my mission life now, after changing Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, my natural life, who knows how long it is. I'm shooting for 2040, really, seriously. Isn't that wild? Lung cancer survivor. You know, two things if you would have told me, and I don't know why they're bigger news, but they're curing a whole shitload of cancer nowadays. That's crazy. That should be bam, bam, bam. I mean, it's always been our big fear, like the nuclear bombs, lung cancer. Those were big fears. And well, although they're doing a lot of other stuff about cancer, I don't know what we're doing about nuclear bombs. But there's another little thing too that should be top line. You can buy edibles in Texas, boom, through the mail, and it's legal, and it's real marijuana, THC. How come, when did that happen, right? You see, all this stuff's happening behind your back, and you got to wake up and pay attention and just chant and see what enlightens to you in the mirror, because you're looking at the mirror. I've gone too far today, but it is a personal experience that I have to share. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Enjoy your evening, your day. Go all the way, all the way.